Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something really important, something that affects millions of us as we get older, but it often does it so quietly we don't even notice. We're talking about our kidneys and the very subtle ways they try to ask for help. Just imagine hearing this. Doctor, if I had come earlier, could it have been prevented? Those are the words of a 67-year-old man named Slamet. And that question, well, it gets right to the heart of what we're talking about today. It's all about the power of knowing what to look for before it's too late. And you know, Slamet's story isn't unusual. Get this, a staggering 9 out of 10 people who have early-stage kidney disease have absolutely no idea. Think about that. Their kidneys are losing function, silently. And that right there is why catching these tiny signals is so incredibly important. So to really get a handle on this, let's go back to Slamet. His story is just a perfect example of how easy it is to brush off these major warning signs as, just part of getting older. So Slamet went to the doctor for things that sound pretty minor, right? He was just feeling tired all the time, and food just didn't really appeal to him anymore. He and his family thought, well, he's 67, that's just how it goes. But the lab results, they told a completely different story. His kidneys had already lost nearly 40% of their ability to function. There was no pain, nothing dramatic, just this quiet problem hiding in plain sight. And that's exactly what chronic kidney disease is. It's not some sudden event. It's a slow, gradual fade of one of your body's most important systems. And because it's so quiet, so many stories end up just like Slamet's. But you know what? They really don't have to. So let's talk about how we can get better at listening to our own bodies. And I don't want you to think of these as scary symptoms. Think of them as signals, as important clues that you can learn to read before a small issue turns into a really big one. Okay, let's jump into the first signal. Waking up 2, 3, maybe even more times every single night to go to the bathroom. A lot of people just blame it on getting older or having a glass of water before bed, but here's the thing. Healthy kidneys are actually supposed to slow down urine production at night so you can get a good sleep. When they start to struggle, that ability starts to fade. All right, next up. Picture this. It's the end of the day, you take off your socks, and you notice that telltale line, maybe a little puffiness around your ankles. That can happen because your kidneys aren't doing a great job of removing extra fluid and salt, and, well, gravity just pulls all that excess fluid down to your feet. And what about feeling just completely wiped out for no good reason? This is a big one. It's not just about filtering waste. Your kidneys produce a really important hormone that tells your body to make red blood cells. Fewer red blood cells means less oxygen for your muscles and your brain, and that leads to that deep, persistent fatigue. Now, the real key here is to see these things as a pattern. It's not just one thing. Along with what we just talked about, be on the lookout for dry, itchy skin that just won't go away. That can be from a buildup of waste in your blood. Pay attention to your urine itself. Is it foamy? Is the color different? And then there's a decreased appetite or feeling nauseous as toxins build up. That same buildup can even affect your ability to think clearly, what a lot of people call brain fog. You see, any one of these signs is easy to dismiss, but when you put them all together, they start to paint a pretty clear picture. So you might be wondering, okay, is this just inevitable? Why does this happen as we get older? Well, let's get into the science. Part of it is a natural process, but there are definitely things that can put the pedal to the metal on that decline. Over our lifetimes, 3 main things naturally happen to our kidneys. First, they just get a little smaller. Second, the tiny little filters inside them, they're called nephrons, some of them stop working. And third, the blood flow to them just isn't as robust as it used to be. That's just a normal part of the aging process. But this is where we have some real power. These factors can seriously speed up that natural decline. Uncontrolled high blood pressure and high blood sugar are the absolute biggest two. They're just brutal on those delicate kidney blood vessels. But look at the other two. Not drinking enough water and the long-term use of certain common pain relievers. These are things we often don't think about, but they put a huge strain on our kidneys day in and day out. Okay, so we've looked at the signs, we've looked at the causes. Now for the really good part. There is a surprisingly simple, incredibly cheap habit you can start tomorrow morning that can give your kidneys some serious support. And I bet the ingredients are in your kitchen right now. That's it. It's that simple. A glass of warm water with the juice of a fresh lemon. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds way too simple to actually work, but stick with me here because there's some really solid science explaining why this little daily ritual can make a huge difference.
So, how does this actually work? Well, there are three key reasons. First, the citric acid in the lemon helps create an environment in your urine that makes it harder for painful kidney stones to form. Second, let's be real, plain water can be kind of boring. Adding a little lemon makes it taste better, which helps you drink more and stay hydrated, and that's absolutely vital for your kidneys. And finally, lemons are packed with antioxidants that help protect your kidney cells from damage. Now, it's not a magic cure, but it is an incredibly powerful supportive habit.
But to really get all the benefits, you have to do it the right way. So let's wrap up with a super clear, super simple action plan that you can literally start tomorrow. Here are the 5 steps. 1. Use warm water. It's just gentler on your system first thing in the morning. 2. Use the juice from half a fresh lemon, not the stuff in a bottle. 3. Drink it right when you wake up, on an empty stomach, so your body can absorb it better. 4. And this is really important. Rinse your mouth with plain water right after to protect your teeth from the acid. And 5, the most important step of all, be consistent. Make this a daily habit you don't even think about.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Taking care of your kidneys is so much easier and cheaper than trying to fix them once they're broken. A lemon costs a few cents. Proactive care is truly the best medicine there is.
And of course, the lemon water is just one tool in your toolkit. To give your kidneys the ultimate protection, combine that habit with these essentials. Slash your salt and processed food intake, keep a close eye on your blood pressure and sugar, never hold it when you have to go, and if you're over 60, just ask your doctor for a simple kidney function test every year. So we're right back to Slamet's question, could it have been prevented? And the answer is, so much of this can be slowed down or even prevented just by being aware and taking small, simple actions. It can all start with one little choice. You have the knowledge now. So the only question left is, what are you going to do tomorrow morning?